Welcome back to DDT, Doug and Danny Talk. I'm Danny.
I'm Doug.
And today we'll be reviewing the May 7th, May 8th edition of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live and talk a little bit about Backlash and what happened there.
Start the show, let's talk about Backlash.
Not a great pay-per-view.
It was okay.
Like, it started off good. Like, even the pre-show match between Bayley and Ruby Riott was good. But besides Seth Rollins and The Miz, I didn't like any of the matches.
Yeah, it wasn't the best entertaining matches at all. I mean, even the WWE title match, being a no disqualification, you just kind of expected it to be, it's going to be another nutshot show.
Yeah.
Like, even the tag match wasn't even good with Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman.
Well, because we've seen that match already in multiple iterations. So it's like, okay, what else can they really do here besides adding a stipulation to it?
True.
But yeah, both women's title matches, I was unimpressed. Like, there were some good spots, but other than that, weren't that good.
Okay, for the women's Raw title match, I'm surprised the match even went that long.
Yeah.
Like, Nia can literally eat Alexa.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense as to why it was a competitive match. Like,
it's smart for Alexa to go straight for Nia's legs.
Yeah. But in the overall scope of it, if the roles were switched, Nia was the heel and Alexa was the face, it would be a much different match. It would be much more entertaining because it would be the underdog facing the overwhelming force instead of the unstoppable force versus 5'0" nothing and trying to catch her. But even then, she's throwing her across the ring like 5 times.
Yeah, she's just throwing her around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too if I was that big.
Yeah, but it didn't help when the match ended, she cut that promo. I immediately muted the television because I was like, this isn't Nia Jax.
The motivational speech from Nia Jax was not needed.
It sounded so forced.
Very scripted, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, you're overweight and you probably were bullied as a kid, but, like,
yeah.
You don't need to announce it to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at a pay-per-view like that, after a match. One thing I found interesting about the match, though, was when Alexa knocked Nia Jax over the ropes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, she landed hard.
Yeah.
And then a DDT on the steps.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked at that.
But then if she just went back in the ring and then like the count's going and then she realizes,
she's not going to be champ.
I gotta get her back in the ring. She's too big. Trying to pick her up, trying to roll the ring, and then that's when like Nia does something. But I don't know. I'm tired of that feud.
Yeah, I don't know what else they're gonna do, because like it's not gonna stay on Nia for very long.
It's hard to say. It kind of depends on who wins the women's Money in the Bank.
That's what I'm thinking, because I'm feeling that Alexa's gonna get like 1 or 2 more shots at the title, win the title, and then have whoever wins Money in the Bank cash in, hopefully at a shorter amount of time than what Carmella did.
Yeah. Well, that's when they booked themselves into a corner where they're like, okay, we need Charlotte to look good up until her Asuka match, but you could have just done it between then. But really, post-Mania, that was the best decision to make because you couldn't have her pin Asuka after Charlotte pinned her, and you can't have her beat Charlotte after Charlotte just beat Asuka.
Well,
or even if you put the belt on Asuka, how are you going to take the belt off of her at that point?
Exactly, that was the huge question, is when she's going to cash in, which is why people thought she was going to get drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
To cash in on Alexa.
Right.
But no, they did play it off right by having Asuka lose at Mania.
Lose at WrestleMania, lose it in a championship match, and lose it to Charlotte, who is kayfabe the elite women's wrestler in the WWE.
The Queen.
The Queen, yeah.
After that match, we had the U.S. title match, Jeff and Randy Orton.
The crowd was really bored by this match.
Yeah, it wasn't entertaining whatsoever.
No, which is a shame because, like, you figure those two...
Those are two veterans.
Yeah.
Like, you think they would put on a good show.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe just Randy... I think the thing about Randy is when he's motivated by a feud, like when he was in his feud with Jinder, he was motivated post the title loss and the weeks going into their rematch and then their third match at Battleground. But that's when he was a face. He hates being a face, and it doesn't make sense for Randy to be a face. He's a much more effective heel, and I just think there wasn't enough time to develop a proper feud with Jeff Hardy to have heel Orton at his best.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because like even like his finisher alone isn't worth being a face.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a heel finisher.
Yeah. But even like he had the punt as his finisher once. Just kicking a dude in the head. Yeah, but
all his finishers are based on being a heel.
Well, like the move when the person's lying down on the mat face up and he stomps all their limbs.
Yeah.
That's a heel thing to do.
Yeah.
And his inverted neck breaker, where it looks like he's like breaking their back and their neck at the same time.
Yep.
That's another heel thing to do.
DDT off the second rope.
Yep.
That's a heel.
Yep.
Like everything he has is based on being a heel. Because he developed those moves when he started out when he was 21 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, being a face is not a thing for him.
And it's good that he wants to be heel because right now SmackDown needs a big heel.
No, I definitely agree with that. Although they are turning Shinsuke Nakamura heel.
Well, Shinsuke is technically the hottest heel right now, but like Randy needs to be a heel to like back him up. Because Rusev Day is pretty much a tweener.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like, yeah, they do heel stuff, but they're loved. So they're tweeners. And then otherwise, not many individual heels. All the rest of them are grouped in with people.
It's very true. So we had Elias in concert.
So I like this. It kept going on because he just wanted to sing a song, but everybody kept interrupting him. New Day,
great.
Rusev Day, No Way Jose, Titus Worldwide,
And
the Fashion Police.
Yeah.
And finally we got...
That's what made me funny, though. Like, it was Titus Worldwide in with No Way Jose.
Yeah.
Like, they were a part of the conga line, which they continued in through Monday Night Raw after.
Yeah.
I found that very funny, because I did kind of, like, think, does that mean Titus Worldwide is recruiting No Way Jose and the conga line?
They're just recruiting No Way Jose because he's the one with the talent. The conga line is an accessory.
Jose is.
It's Adam Rose.
Oh, literally,
it's just
his new era Adam Rose.
They're his posse. So where he goes, the posse follows, but otherwise, it's just him.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, you were saying.
And then Bobby Roode shows up out of nowhere, glorious DDT, and then we get dancing Bobby Roode.
That's what I didn't understand, though. Like, was there even supposed to be a match out of that?
No, I think it was just a concert.
Like, what was the point of that for a pay-per-view?
Gotta fill time. They can't have Elias and Bobby Roode 3. That's for Raw.
I'm just saying, like, for a pay-per-view, that's not something how you kill time.
Unless Bobby Roode beat Elias in one of those weeks.
Unless there was more of an attack on Elias rather than just a glorious DDT.
No, if Bobby Roode would have beaten Elias during the time from the draft to now, it would have warranted the third match to be a pay-per-view match. But since Bobby's lost all of his matches, it doesn't dignify a pay-per-view match.
Again,
like rubber match, essentially.
I mean, they could have had someone fight Elias and Bobby Roode interrupts.
No.
Like anything rather than just have people interrupt him from his concert.
I don't like face Bobby Roode. He's not interesting. heel Bobby Roode when he was NXT was amazing.
I'm unfamiliar with it, so I wouldn't.
Long story short, it's much better.
Okay, then. So after a promo, we had Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan.
Boo.
Like, there really wasn't much to the match.
Big Cass has a long way to go.
He's really nothing without Enzo Amore. Like, Amore made him needed in that tag team.
Yeah. Their tag team, in a nutshell, was Enzo gets the crap beaten out of him, going for the hot tag, Cass beats people up because he's a 7-foot-tall giant, and then they do a double-team finisher, and that's it. Other than that, you're not getting 5-star matches out of Enzo and Big Cass.
No. The only thing worth writing down for this match was the yes lock on him.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan managed to make Big Cass tap out, but then he also attacked him after the bell.
From behind.
From behind, yeah.
Which, that just shows he's a coward.
He's heel. So, I mean, I hope this feud is over because...
Like, what's that showing him? Like, okay, you can beat up a guy who's 5'9".
Mm-hmm. Well, and he's an incredible wrestler. It's just there's a clear size difference here.
Yeah. I don't know. They gotta figure something out for him. After a promo, we had Charlotte versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title.
Not a good match.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
It's the same thing. Carmella has a long way to go. She has a great character, and she's good on the mic.
She has an annoying character.
But that's, Ellsworth was annoying. But that was the point. He had to be annoying in order to get Carmella over.
He was a puppy. He was literally Carmella's puppy.
Still,
and she treated like garbage.
He was an effective manager.
He was not effective whatsoever.
Effective, yeah, he was.
No.
He made you hate him, right?
That's not hard to do.
That's the point.
That's really not hard to do.
Carmella has to do that on her own, which she's doing on the mic. She's
doing it with her gloating.
Again, that's the point. She's getting over in that way. It's just in-ring aspect. She has a long way to go because it was a lot of rest holds.
Yeah, because they're trying to communicate, okay, I'm going to do this move next. Do you want to reverse it? They've got to be talking to each other while they're in those grapples.
Yeah, they say what the next thing is, but still, there were a lot of rest holds, and that's what happened later on in the night, too. There's just so many rest holds.
Well, to even start this match, the second Carmella notices, oh, crap, she's kicking my ass right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to take my belt and go.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
And then she just keeps slapping Charlotte's head, saying she's the champ. She's the champ. She's the champ.
Yeah. The matches with Charlotte and the Iconics were a lot better than this match.
Mm-hmm.
And that says a lot because the Iconics were in NXT forever.
When Charlotte tweaked her knee, that honestly looked like a real injury to me.
Where was that?
She went for the moonsault.
Oh, right, yeah, and then
landed on her feet, and then kind of fell.
Right.
And then Carmella did a really weird pin that looked like she was planking her.
Didn't she kick her in the head too? Or was it just the knee spot?
Yeah, right. She kicked her in the head to knock her down, and then...
And then the weird pin, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, just not a very good match.
No.
And then following that, we had the WWE title match for the no DQ. I found it funny how AJ uses the chair to try and block the...
Kinshasa?
Yeah. And ends up reflecting off his knee and hitting him back in the face.
Yeah.
Which is what cut him open.
Yeah, weird to see blood. I don't know if that was... It could have just been from the chair. It wasn't bleeding.
No, it definitely was the chair. Like,
Yeah.
it was the foot of the chair, like, hit him right in the cheek.
Oh, okay.
Like, it sliced him right open.
Yeah.
And then just ending it in a double 10 count.
Yeah, double kicking the balls, 10 count.
After both giving a previous nut shot beforehand.
Right.
But yeah, double kicking the nuts and then double count out. Just, it's not solving anything between the two.
Right.
Like, I don't understand why they don't just have a clear winner already.
Well, they need to drag the feud out. The only problem is...
How far are they going to drag it out, though?
Money in the Bank?
For like the fourth time of them fighting?
What just happened was the rematch. This will be the third time. Money in the Bank is the next pay-per-view. There's no pay-per-view for May.
Right. But I'm just saying, though, like, they've fought week after week on SmackDown, or...
Well, no, they haven't... Well, like, they had that six-man with the Club and new Rusev Day.
Right.
They didn't have a match this week. Last week, or like the week before... Greatest Royal Rumble, they had a match. So technically it would be the fourth match in their series.
Right.
It's just... If their first match was a barn burner, and then they kept the tempo for each of those matches at the same point, there wouldn't be this much fatigue. Or this much like, oh, really? A double count out? Like when Batista and Undertaker were having their matches. The WrestleMania match was great. Their Last Man Standing match was great. Their Steel Cage match was great. And then we had them...
That's stipulation matches. All this is a DQ. Like, it's either a normal match or a no DQ match. Like, there's no stipulation to it compared to what those were.
Right.
Anyway. Following that match, we had Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Partway through that match, you just see Sami giving up on the match.
Really?
Yeah, like he gets off the apron and he's like, you know what, let's leave. Like, what are you doing, Sami? You're the legal person, too.
I mean, the match didn't mean anything. There wasn't any reward behind it.
No, it was just their punishment, really,
for
being dicks. But yeah, Sami wanting to leave, Kevin and Sami just turning on each other half the time now.
Well, yeah, the way the match ended was Sami throws Kevin into the ring, but Sami was the legal man, not Kevin, but the referee didn't know that, so when the finish happened, Kevin got pinned.
And then kept doing a running body slam.
Yeah. Well, Braun did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bobby Lashley doesn't have a running body slam.
What's Bobby's finisher?
I think it's that vertical suplex thing he does.
That can't be it.
I think it is.
Because have we even seen because his nickname, the Dominator, is a move. Farouk, Ron Simmons, his move was the Dominator, where he puts him up kind of like Razor's Edge, but he's holding them on his shoulder, and he flips them.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have that when he was first around, then it turned into the spear, running power slam, so now it's, where the hell is his finisher?
Maybe
it's probably because he's never the legal man, too.
That could be it, too. Maybe they just don't have a match or a finisher for him at the moment. Maybe he doesn't want to do the spear anymore because it's used by so many people.
Well, no, because, it's Romans. Running power slams, bronze. So he has no real choice but to go back to the Dominator.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of the locker room he was in back then versus now, the locker room now is a lot smaller, so he'd be able to pull the move off a lot easier. Versus trying to do that shit on Batista.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see something soon, though.
Yeah.
And the main event of the night Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe.
I don't understand why the WWE Championship match wasn't the main event. Disregard the finish of the match. The title should be the main event.
No, I agree.
It doesn't make any sense because it's not, okay, if Roman wins, he's number one Universal Championship. If Samoa Joe wins, he's number one contender for the WWE Championship. There was no reward behind this.
No, it was literally just Joe keeping his word of, I'm going to beat Roman Reigns.
Right.
Whether you have the title or not.
Right. And they chose not to do that. They chose for Roman to go over, which fans responded by just leaving the arena.
Yeah, having Roman technically beat Brock Lesnar at Greatest Royal Rumble, and then the ref saying that Brock wins.
Yeah.
His feet never hit the ground.
Yeah, exactly. What was supposed to happen was, when he speared him, I guess maybe they were supposed to roll off at the same time? Or Roman gets off of him, one foot's on the ground, Brock has his foot in the ground, and all Brock has to do is slightly roll and get his other foot to touch, and then that's it. But since Roman, just kind of exploded off of Brock once the spear hit the ground, then his feet touched, then it's okay, he just won. Give him the belt. Just get it over with.
But that's not how the story was supposed to go.
Just get it over with.
Yeah, we know he's going to win at some point.
Yeah.
Just do it.
This is what has been building for the last year.
The fact that he's not even on Monday Night Raw every week.
Roman or Brock?
Brock.
Well, yeah. Yeah, just put the freaking belt on him. Because the sooner you get the belt off of him, the sooner he can re-enter USADA, start training back for his MMA return, and then he can do that and come back when he's needed. Otherwise, just get it off of him already.
Exactly. Anyway, back to Reigns and Joe. Both attacking each other before the match even starts.
Yeah, Joe throws Roman through the table.
Yeah. And then he throws him over the second table and the third table. Back into the ring for, I don't even know how many moves.
A lot of rest holds.
Yeah.
Which didn't make any sense.
It wears the opponent down, but it's not entertaining.
Yeah.
And then he puts him in the coquina clutch and basically has Roman passed out completely.
Right.
Which any other superstar, the match would have been over 5 seconds ago.
Right.
But because it's Roman, no, he magically gets a second wind and breaks out. And then does his Superman punch, his spear, Superman punch, spear, wins.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's Backlash in the books. First Cobra in a pay-per-view since WrestleMania and Greatest Royal Rumble. But now this is the pace that we're going for. It's if this is essentially the reboot of the pay-per-view schedule, why have the first one suck so bad?
Exactly.
Wouldn't you want to come hot out the gate? Especially since May doesn't have a pay-per-view. You need stuff to happen on this pay-per-view that's going to last a whole month. That's 4 weeks of television, plus the additional weeks in June leading up to Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, but out of 5 stars, I would have given that pay-per-view 2.5.
The Miz Seth Rollins match was the best match on the card,
and that opened it.
And that opened the show.
So they're expected to be hyped up 4 hours after that? I don't think so.
Exactly.
Switching over to Monday Night Raw, following Backlash.
I missed the first 5 minutes of it, but I saw Kurt in the ring and Braun. And
yeah, it was basically Braun Strowman getting a congratulations from Kurt about his performance over the last couple weeks.
Right, winning the tag team belts at WrestleMania, winning the 50-man Royal Rumble, and then him demanding a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Right, which is when Kevin Owens comes out, starts bitching like a baby, saying, no, he hasn't done anything, I've done everything, put me in the match.
Right. And, like, Kurt wanted to say what he was going to do, but Kevin just kept rambling on, and then...
That easily changed his mind.
Yeah. So then we got...
The first qualifier match.
Yeah, between Braun and Kevin to open the show. And I liked this match. I thought it was a good match.
What bugged me about the match, though, Coach was stating that it was Kevin's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good enough to put him in the Money in the Bank match.
If he was on SmackDown... Or no, well, if Stephanie was on Raw that night, I'm sure she would have just given him the match. Or no, put him in the match.
Well, that's Stephanie.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, heel manager versus a face manager.
Well, okay, I like how Kurt has it that you have to fight for your position there.
Right, exactly.
Stephanie just gives it to them, like...
If you're her favorite or are a heel also,
like,
you're going to get something.
Would you like the title bottle fed to you? I actually really liked how Braun starts running around the ring and just bulldozed Kevin.
Well, like, so a bunch of times there was Kevin throws Braun out the ring and does something outside the ring, and he's wanting that count-out victory, and it doesn't come.
Nope.
And then Braun hits Kevin with something, and then he's outside the ring, and that's when we get the running spots again.
That first bulldoze was just a monster.
Yeah.
He just went flying.
I thought for that match, I kind of saw it being, unless he doesn't get back in the ring, this match could be a draw. For the simple reason that Braun's just like running around the ring, doing full laps, and get themselves both counted out last minute.
Right.
Or Kevin, or he misses Kevin on the last run and it's 9, and then Kevin gets back in the ring and Braun doesn't have enough time to get in the ring and Kevin wins by count out.
I was kind of expecting that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Strowman won that match.
He's not going to win Money in the Bank, though.
I can't see it happening, though.
The Money in the Bank briefcase is more effective on someone who's a heel versus someone who's a face.
True.
Edge was the first, heel. Orton, heel. Rollins, heel. Dolph Ziggler, heel. Daniel Bryan, when he won it, he was a heel back then.
Miz as well.
It's more effective on those that are heels because they are the opportunistic ones, versus when a face does it, he goes up to the champ and says to him, like Rob Van Dam, he went up to Cena and he was like, I'm challenging you to ECW One Night Stand. That's when the match is. Be ready for it, because I'll be ready. Or Cena challenging CM Punk, like, next week, you're mine, bitch.
Yeah, like the face never comes in after the match with the champion lying on the ground to cash in. Like, that's just not their style.
Yeah.
And it bugs me about that too, because like sometimes you have a cash in and you have to wait for that person to be on their feet.
They have to be coherent for the match to start.
Which technically is okay, I'm on my feet, I can go.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it's they cash in, they pin them right away.
Well, yeah, like when Daniel Bryan won it from Big Show, that's when he beat Mark Henry, and then Mark Henry just destroyed the Big Show with chair shots, and then that's when he came in and did it, because Big Show was just incapacitated.
Well, exactly. Like, you can't have it as one side has to be, okay, you gotta be literally ready to go here. If
they're coherent, like till they get to the feet. But if they're dead, let them be dead. And then just cover them. If they kick out, and then you have a match.
Exactly.
Or you just give them your finisher a second time.
Exactly. It just bugs me seeing how it's like, oh, well, okay, they're on the ground and pinned. Oh, these ones have to wait for them to get up, which gives them a chance to catch their breath and prepare. Like, pick one or the other. After that match, we had interview in the locker room with Roman. I don't even remember that.
It was basically just he's in the qualifying match against Sami and Finn Balor, him being all mad post his match with Joe. Like, now that that's over, it's back to business. How do I get the belt? How do I get my next shot at Brock? And I don't know. Even when he's fired up, I just get the sense he's just tired or he's just not really into it.
It's like he knows he's either gonna lose or he's gonna win. So when it gets closer to the end of the match, he kind of gives up.
Yeah, his level...
Or just keeps doing the same thing until the end.
The character's enthusiasm is absent, so the audience themselves is absent.
Right.
They lose...
And majority hate Roman in the first place.
Yeah, so like whatever interest people had in the match to begin with, they lose it when they realize, oh, for God's sake, is he going to win right now?
Literally me, like, half the time, like, he gets... Yeah. Well, especially at Backlash when he was getting out of the coquina clutch, like, his eyes were literally rolled into the back of his head.
Yeah.
Or he made it look like they were. And it's like, okay, end the match. He's done. He's out.
Yeah, if they just had him lose a match by unconsciousness, just do it that way.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to tap out.
He doesn't have to break it and win.
You want us to be invested in the character, give us a reason to.
Like, people would have loved to see Joe beat him.
That's ending the pay-per-view on a good ending. Samoa Joe needed that win to cement his place in the WWE Championship picture. Beating the top guy on Raw makes you the top guy on SmackDown.
Exactly. But that basically gives you the opportunity to go for AJ Styles.
Yeah. Or at least keep him keep him at bay so that, or even put him in the qualifier for the Money in the Bank.
I don't know. Well, we had 6-man tag match for like the 4th week in a row for Raw.
Yeah, it was Baron Corbin, the Revival versus Titus Worldwide, and No Hit Jose. It's good to see the Revival again.
Yeah, they deserve some screen time.
They are the dark horse of the Raw Tag Team division because all it takes is just a simple win over a big name tag team, and then they can go for the tag team titles. It has been brewing since they've been called up to the roster, but they've just been plagued with injuries. And then Baron Corbin, you never really know with Baron. Like, how do you...
But that's the thing with Baron, like, he's known as the Lone Wolf, so why is he getting put in tag team matches?
Well, this is only really his first match on Raw. So, I mean,
it's his second match, because last week he fought...
Right, but, like, his second match on Raw. So, I mean, really, he's not aligned with the Revival. It's just...
I get that, but, like, a tag match in general, he shouldn't be a part of if he's going by the Lone Wolf.
If it's a traditional tag team match, yes. But if it's a 6-man tag, it's a tag team and him. So they can do all the double team crap. He's in for himself. So once he's tagged in the match, that's it. He's not tagging somebody in and holding them there for him to punch. It's, I'm going to tag you in. I'm going to hit him. He's all yours.
True. What I did like about the match was somewhat of another Titus moment. It was where he threw one of the Revival members into the corner, goes to jump into them, but gets drop kicked.
Yeah.
And just falls like a bag of bricks.
Yeah.
I found that actually pretty funny. Another risky move in that match was Corbin pulling down the top rope and Apollo Crews tumbling over it.
Right, yeah.
Like, he landed awkwardly.
That's the thing about whenever you do stuff when somebody's on the top rope or on the top turnbuckle. You have to go forward. You can't go to the sides, go backwards.
Exactly.
You have to...
But, like, he wasn't on the rope or anything. He was, like, trying to bounce off the rope.
Oh, so he was doing kind of like West Coast Pop, how he's jumping, like, using the ropes for torque and then doing it
I
like
think
that.
it was just more of like he was bouncing off the rope to do like a clothesline or something.
Oh, okay, right.
But Corbin yanks the rope down and he just tumbled over.
Oh, okay. So he pulled it down as he was running like his back into the rope. So okay, as you would like in a Royal Rumble, you would pull it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just tumble over.
Right.
But like to do it backwards, like it looked like he hit his shoulder or something off the apron. Just risky moves like that can cause so much injury. But that match ending with Corbin and the Revival winning.
Yeah.
Following that, we had triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier.
For the women's.
For the women's, yeah.
I really thought that Ruby Riott was going to come out of this, just because having a win.
Hoping she would win.
Having a win over Sasha, having a pre-show pay-per-view match win over Bayley, you think, okay, they were actually going to really push her, but also like you still got Sasha in that match. You still got Ember Moon, who just showed up.
Mm-hmm. Like, I liked how Ruby did like a double DDT on both of them.
Well, yeah, the DDT and like Scorpion Death Drop thing. Yeah, that was cool.
I did like that part. And then with the match just kind of getting into chaos near the end.
With Bayley, oh my god. Just make a decision. Either they're best friends again or they're enemies.
Exactly. Like, she didn't interfere the match much. She was just helping Sasha get back in the ring. She didn't cost Sasha anything, but just...
How are you supposed to build around this if she literally just tried to help Sasha? Exactly. She tried to help her. So how can Sasha be mad at her now?
Exactly. But they'll write it off saying, oh, I didn't need your help. I don't need your help tonight. I don't need your help last night. I don't need your help ever. Just stay in the back.
Then, oh my god. Then put them on separate shows.
Exactly. Have them feud from separate shows where they can't help each other out because they used to be best friends.
Yeah. But no, then frickin' Ember Moon comes out of nowhere in the double
clips for the victory.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about the match that would build up for Money in the Bank.
For both or just the women's?
For the women's right now.
Well, because there's two sides of the coin. There's Raws and there's SmackDowns. It's 8 or is it 6?
It's 8 men and 8 women.
Okay.
So they're basically having 4 and 4.
Right. Depending on who wins on Raw. Well, who's on Raw that can qualify? Bayley probably.
You could have Bayley. You could have Sasha. Basically everyone that was in that triple threat match.
Right.
Even Alexa could have, but she'll probably be going for the women's title anyway.
I think she could be injured.
Really?
Yeah, I heard somewhere in like post Backlash she could have suffered like a minor injury.
Oh, I never heard anything about that.
Yeah. Maybe Mickie James?
Yeah, Mickie James could.
God, where is the Raw's women's division? Because other than the Riot Squad...
You got the Riot Squad, you got Alexa and Nia, Sasha and Bayley, and Ember Moon.
God, is that it?
That's basically what they're...
Well, Dana Brooke, she could...
No.
Yeah.
She would be a fill-in, if anything. She would not have any part of that match. Like, she'd be the one that's, like, acting like she's scared of heights and trying to reach it from 2 steps up.
Is Alicia Fox released?
I have no idea.
Did she get released?
She might have. Or maybe she's just on a hiatus right now.
Because Emma got released.
Which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
She was just starting to get a build-up.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. SmackDown's side will be set.
True. Following that match, we had a promo about Bobby Lashley in a recorded interview.
Oh, God, why are they doing this to Bobby?
I kind of liked it. Just kind of seeing where he came from.
I like seeing his personal side. Like, I liked everything before the interview. She should have asked him different questions. Like, I get, she should have asked questions. You know, how he missed the Olympics.
How?
He stopped a robbery and he got shot.
Oh.
So that's how he got his injury. But then, like, after recovering from the injury, he got an additional injury, and that still the WWE kept calling him. Go into that situation, because that's interesting.
Yeah, hearing about an injury would definitely help.
Yeah, especially something like that. Like, Daivari's brother stopped a robbery.
Really?
Yeah. But that stuff is interesting. Don't tell me about your sister's stupid blanket or how your one sister was a bitch. Tell me about that stuff.
But then you leave it on a cliffhanger with, hey, you see that scar? Well, that told me never to mess with that sister again. What happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I care that much about it, but
yeah.
You don't leave it like that.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do it like... Okay, so going back to when Mick Foley first came to WWE as Mankind.
Okay.
They did a 5-part interview with JR. So JR went into Mick Foley's life before WWE. And the way they pitched it was, first it started out as a guy's dream, and then it turned into a nightmare. Because look at him now, he's lost his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to get into the backstory. This was like the first backstory that WWE had ever released for somebody. Before it was just, you're a character, you're a garbage man, you're an IRS agent, you're Hulk Hogan, you're a profession and a wrestler. He was the first one where it was, I'm a dude who's been wrestling all over the world, and the only way that I get attention is by doing this stuff. Because I'm not Hulk Hogan, because I'm not Randy Savage. I have to compensate for that by doing things that cause extreme pain to both my opponent and myself. And every interview ended with his character losing it at one point. And the last one was him attacking JR.
Well, that was his character in general.
Mentally unstable, yeah. But at least show us the person behind the mask and the heart of the person.
True.
So I want to see that in Bobby, too. If there's another interview, show me something.
Mm-hmm.
Show me, like, okay, when you left WWE, talk about your MMA career. Talk about why you came back. Like, talk about topics that are relevant to the situation as of now.
Yeah. Interview could have been better in general. Just
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see a personal side of him as well, rather than all his character and what made him who he is.
Right. Well, it would have been nice to see his sisters, too. Like, if they went back and forth between a pre-recorded edition of his sisters talking versus him talking to Renee. So you're getting both sides of the story.
Right. So after the interview, we had a backstage scene with Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah.
Basically just conflicting with each other what happened at Backlash, and Kevin Owens got his ass kicked against Braun.
Yeah, and him...
Sammy complaining that he's got a triple threat match later that night.
He just needs to know that, hey man, even though we're not in the same match together, can I have your back? And it's not a yo, it's not a no, it's not a yes, it's not a yep. It's just a yeah.
But Sammy's trying to get that yep.
Yeah, exactly. But he didn't get it, and so he's just like,
oh, just fuck Sammy. And then we had a bit of an interview with Kurt. I forget who he was talking to, but then Jinder interrupted it.
Goldust.
Right, it was Goldust.
Okay, so this was one of two that happened that night, and both times they went to Kurt too late. Because all you saw was his reaction.
Right.
You didn't see
he's
his
just
question.
Kind of standing there like, what are you doing here?
It's not like he's looking at TV and all of a sudden someone comes on the side. It's like, what are you doing here? Like in his weird expressions, and then all of a sudden
he's
it's
just got
Goldust.
that weird face.
Yeah, he's just like I get that when you see Goldust, but you need to see the initial reaction.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Jinder complaining that he wants to be in the Money in the Bank match.
Mm-hmm.
And just basically demanding everything every week. And Kurt's just like, own up to your words. You're going to have this match.
Jinder's side of it is, since I've been here, I got here, you immediately put me up in a title match, I lost it. And Kurt's side of it is, yeah, and since then you actually haven't won a match since you've been here. So, win a match tonight, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Face the guy who beat you. If you beat him...
For the third week in a row.
No, you didn't face Gable last week.
Didn't he?
No. It was the week before that, because it was a 6-man tag last week.
Right. So yeah, he's facing Chad Gable again.
Yeah. You're thinking of Rude and Elias. They've been facing each other every week on Raw.
Maybe. Yeah, for once Jinder actually wins a match.
He wins a match, and it was a good match. Like, Gable did a lot more in this match. You got to see him, like, he did a cartwheel kick to his arm.
Yeah.
He did a moonsault.
He definitely has improved in singles competition.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just giving him the window of opportunity to show his ability. We still need to see his finisher. We still need to see the rolling German suplex pin.
True. But the thing I don't like is that Jinder won this match, and then he's gloating like he won match of the year.
Well, it's not just that. It's the referee could have disqualified him after because he was attacking Gable.
But the match was over. How do you get disqualified?
If you attack somebody after the bell, the referee can reverse his decision. And
but when does that ever happen?
It happens. Like when Mark Henry was going on a tear, like the Hall of Pain, he would destroy people after jobbers, or even like Paul Burchill or someone like that, or Rey Mysterio. It's basically, okay, you won the match. There's no point in you keeping attacking him.
Like you were saying, though, like, it does happen, but I haven't seen it happen in probably 10 years.
It really depends on how long the attack is going. If it's as simple as, okay, I just beat him, I'm going to deliver my finisher a second time, and gloat. This was, Jinder did a couple of moves.
But it wasn't even that. Like, he won the match, and then he's gloating. He didn't attack and then gloat. He won and gloated.
Yeah.
Like, Jinder, you are not king of WWE. You don't get to stand on the rope holding your arms out like, praise be me.
I mean, technically he can, because he was WWE champion.
Well, he's not. He's not anymore.
I mean, to his argument, he has main evented pay-per-views. He held the biggest prize in the WWE for 150 days. He faced the biggest stars, part of the biggest stars, for a year. And WrestleMania was his most recent accomplishment, winning a U.S. title.
True.
So, technically, like...
And then he goes on a losing streak.
Mini losing streak. It's not Curtis Hawkins level of losing streak. It's just, since he's been on Raw, it's been the U.S. title match and 10-man tag and 6-man tag and the Chad Gable match. And he didn't have a pay-per-view match.
Regardless.
There could have been more matches on the pre-show, too.
Rather than just one, yeah. But regardless, like, he hasn't won on Raw since he got there.
Yeah, but this gives him that victory, so he can... Which what brought to the next segment was Kurt and Zack Ryder. Zack trying to convince Kurt to give him a qualifying match in his hometown, which he did not wrestle in that night.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
But who does? Mojo Rawley.
Weird how that happened.
We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah. Jinder comes back in and says, "Hey, Kurt, see what I just did out there? I won. What you said you wanted me to do, I did it. So let's have that conversation now. Or put me in the triple threat match and make it a fatal 4-way.
And Kurt's just like, he looks at Zack Ryder and is like, I'm going to do it. Woo, woo, woo. Not happening. It's like, congratulations on winning the match. Go away now.
Yeah. But then, like, after, like, Jinder left, like, Kurt kind of looked off into the distance, to look at the producer, being like, when are we good? We good? Okay, go away, Zach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So after that promo, we had a commercial break. Coming back from that, we had a tag team match with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler versus Rhino and Slater.
Oh, they got destroyed.
It's just Drew,
Well,
he destroys everyone.
it was a nice touch when they did the same spot they did to Apollo, but instead he's hanging on the ropes, and then Ziggler kicked him in the head, and then he flipped him over.
Right.
That was cool.
Right. But again, another quick victory.
Yeah.
And then just... Yeah.
You can't have a competitive match with Heath Slater.
That's very true.
As much as credit I can give him for being the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions with Rhino, the fact of the matter is that was a charity win.
Yeah.
They needed a reason, they wanted. He was hot at that point, but you can't really have competitive matches when your finisher is Rhino.
True. So after that, we had commercial. Coming back from commercial, we had Bobby Roode versus Elias again. What was I going to say? Right, during the commercial break of that match,
Mm-hmm.
they showed a replay of Elias kind of just pushing Bobby off the turnbuckle. He took a nasty fall. He landed on...
You talking about the replay of their previous match, or what happened in that match?
In that match during commercial, they flashed back to it because he kind of threw his leg or something or pushed him off, and he landed really awkward on his rib cage at the side.
Yeah.
It was a real nasty fall.
That's the thing about falling backwards is, or if you're...
he suffered some back pain during the match after that, too.
Right. It's just, how do you learn how to fall down on, in fact, essentially concrete with a pillow on it?
True.
There's no... It's not like the ring. The ring you practice on over and over and over again, you don't necessarily practice on the outside. You're just taught to, just take it as a regular move, but just remember, it's going to hurt a lot more.
Yeah. Maybe go a little easier on it.
Yeah.
If you're doing a body slam, maybe just drop them and not power slam them down.
Yeah. You have to protect your opponent. But in that case, you can't really protect them. It's up to the person you're throwing off.
The ground is.
Yeah. Even if you're, ankle caught first and, you can kind of, not break the fall, but just, cushion the blow with a delayed reaction. Or a delayed fall.
Just your delayed comment there.
No, that was a brain fart. That's different.
Anyway, Bobby Lashley finally gets a victory. Or no,
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Lashley's been winning. He just hasn't been the legal man.
Right. Bobby Roode getting the glorious DDT to win. Was he winning last week?
No, he hasn't won a match since he's been on Raw.
That's what I thought. Following that match, we had Seth Rollins come out, and I don't know what it was with that crowd, but they loved him.
Who is this? Mojo?
The crowd for Seth Rollins.
Oh, everyone loves Seth Rollins.
But not the entire arena yelling, "Burn it down," when it says that in his music.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
It's...
everyone just loved it.
Backlash, holy crap. When you compare the crowd reactions to Seth Rollins through the last couple of months, it's been overwhelming how much they love him. How over he is. And how, when Burn It Down happens, it's the crowd is yelling Burn It Down. When he's stomping his foot, they're yelling Burn It Down. And I was just that was the first time I heard it was at Backlash.
Well, I love when crowds do that.
Yeah.
It really fires the wrestler up, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great for ratings. And just...
It just cements the point that Seth Rollins is one of the guys.
Right.
Like, in, like, terms of, like, top
People
top
go
5.
to see him fight.
Exactly, yeah.
They don't want to see Roman fight. They want to see Seth.
Yeah. Or
They're
Braun.
waiting on Dean.
It's I don't know what's going to happen with Dean, to be honest. I really don't know. I don't know how he's going to fit into Raw. Or maybe they just be like, hey, man, you want to go to SmackDown?
Well, he'll probably be a free agent when he comes back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then
But then, like,
sign
pick
a contract somewhere down the line.
It would be really cool if he went back to SmackDown. Turn heel. Heel Dean.
Ooh.
Because that'd be interesting. And you know how much I love interesting. If you're interesting, I'll give you a chance. If you're not interesting, fuck off.
Pretty much.
Bobby Roode as a face. You're not interesting.
Anyway, Seth comes out, talks for a bit, and then states that he wants to be the fighting champion of Raw.
Right.
Week after week, because everyone knows Brock Lesnar's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And they're kind of shocked when he is, but he doesn't fight.
Yeah.
So he states an open challenge for the Intercontinental title. First person to accept it is Mojo Rawley. And I don't know. They put on a good match. But again, like, it's Mojo Rawley.
It's not that I don't care about Mojo Rawley. I just, when he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, all people were thinking was, what's going to happen when Zack comes back?
Right.
Then he came back, and then they broke up, but there was never really a payoff. Versus,
Well, they broke up, and then it's like, they're both gone.
they're both gone, and then they're both put on Raw, and it's, why? Have one of them come over, especially Mojo. Mojo needed to go over. But, like, yeah, Mojo doesn't have, like, he has a character. He just doesn't have a lot going for him.
Right.
Which was the thing about SmackDown. SmackDown had more characters, and then it became, okay, this is the wrestling show now.
Right.
So everything's more spread out.
Yeah. To end this match, though, it was Rollins literally taking every finisher he had over, like, what he does now, what he used to do, minus the pedigree. Every
Okay.
other finisher that he had, he did.
So the knee,
Yeah,
Falcon
he did the
Arrow,
knee,
suplex.
pretty much everything.
Well, that's a standard Seth Rollins match.
But no, what he usually does is he'll just do, like, the kick to the gut,
Oh,
leading to the curb stomp.
right.
But, like, he was doing the knee to the face, the curb stomp. I think he did a super kick as well,
Okay, so like kick to the gut, super kick.
or vice versa.
Yeah. I think, okay, so the victory knee, I think that's what it's called.
Something like that, yeah.
Victory knee, kick to stomach, super kick, then the stomp.
Literally that, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, like, he did everything. And, like, did it really take that much to win, or is he just showing all his moves?
I think it's all of his moves. Because if the moment happened when he could land the stop, that would be it. It's the RKO from out of nowhere. It's if I can hit it right now, I'm hitting it. Otherwise,
Well, yeah.
I need to get him weak enough that I can hit it.
Yeah. And I guess that's really how it ended, is, like, he just needed to wear him down a little more
Yeah.
just to get that final curb stomp.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Rollins retains. Following that match, we had the triple threat qualifier with Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Roman Reigns.
Finn Balor and Sami Zayn working together to beat up Roman was cool.
It was cool. What I didn't like about the match is, like, it wasn't really a triple threat. There was always one person just out to the side.
But that's what happens in triple threat, though.
Not to that extent, though.
If you take someone out, the next person comes in. Because that's the point. Like, it's either one guy's beating up both of them, or two people incapacitate one person, and then it's left to the two of them to resolve their differences.
But yes, I get that. But to this extent, though, it was always one person was out no matter what. There was never that point where it was 2 versus 1, 1 versus all. It was always just a one-on-one. And then right when someone got a little more momentum, that's when the person came back in. I'm surprised Sammy actually held his own in this match, though.
Yeah.
Like, against those two, he's literally just there.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was in the qualifying match at all.
But he's a big name.
Is he, though?
He's one of the bigger heels on Raw. Like, him and Owens as a pair are technically the biggest heels. And then you have Jinder, and then you have Baron, and that's it.
I don't know. It just, compared to Reigns and Balor, it's, why is Sammy there? Just to make it an interesting fight, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know, something different, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they needed someone to take the pin.
That is true.
Finn can't take the loss. Roman can't take the loss. Especially if he had lost to Samoa Joe. He still can't take another loss because Vince doesn't want Roman to take 4 major losses in a row. Instead, he'll take 2 major losses in a row, one being controversial, and have a victory, but then lose in the main event by not even being in the decision.
Yeah, I guess. Well, as much as I don't like Jinder Mahal, I am actually really glad that he screwed Roman over in this match.
Oh, it was the best thing ever.
Best part of that match, by far.
Jinder Mahal is the savior of Monday Night Raw. He's literally giving us what we want. We don't want Roman in the match. Jinder's going to take him out of the match.
I hope that actually stirs something up. So, I will actually root for Jinder if they get a rivalry going between the two of them.
And that's going to be the reverse effect, is people are going to start cheering for Jinder. Because no one's cheering for Reigns.
No, no one will.
Even if the other Singh brother comes back from injury, and the two...
Well, he came back on SmackDown. Not this week, but...
I don't know if that was the injured one. I think that was the one that's usually around. But just by having Jinder being Jinder, classic heel Jinder, and tearing Roman up on the mic as much as he can, but then Roman just being Roman, being like, hey man, that's like your opinion.
Yeah, but thanks to Jinder, Balor picked up the victory to qualify for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, so then coming out of Raw that night, it's Braun and Finn. So far.
Which they'll probably have another 2 next week.
Right.
To line up the 4 for Money in the Bank, and then SmackDown will have their 4.
Probably Baron. Because he was the last Money in the Bank winner. Only makes sense to put him in the qualifier again. Put him in there with No Way Jose.
But you say that. Do you remember what happened when he cashed in?
Yeah, Jinder beat him.
Exactly.
But that's the thing, though, is Baron needs redemption.
No, he doesn't.
That's motivation.
Unless Jinder gets in there, I can't see Corbin getting in. Or vice versa.
Corbin has 2 wins. Jinder only has 1 win. And Jinder's had more matches.
The question is Jinder going to have a match next week for a qualifier?
If he does, Roman will interfere and that will spark the rivalry. It only makes sense.
True. Going over to SmackDown now. We had the show start off with Paige. Just kind of talking about what happened at Backlash and the upcoming pay-per-view of Money in the Bank. And then basically indicating that the first match is literally right after I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And it was qualifier of Jeff Hardy and Miz.
Holy crap, that was a good match.
Yeah. I liked how before the match even started, they kept flashback to when Miz last had Money in the Bank and cashed in. Mm-hmm. And they zoomed in on the crowd of the girl that had the anger in his face.
Yeah.
I loved that moment. That also winning one of the Slammy Awards back then, back in the day.
But there were a lot of cool spots in this match.
Yeah. Miz had a scary backward DDT on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a lot of scary moments this week.
Well, like, you know, when, like, okay, so Jeff dives at him, diving off, like, the ringside bar.
Right.
And then, like, he's standing there and Miz takes him out and Jeff's on there and Miz is trying to clothesline him and he keeps ducking and ducking and ducking and then he finally hits him and I was just like,
Yeah, with Miz getting a swanton bomb near the end of this match, kicks out. Well, first of all,
he kicks out, but then rolls on top of Jeff and puts him in the crucifix.
Kick out as momentum.
Sheamus and Cesaro did the same thing.
Did they?
Yeah, Great Balls of Fire when they were having the 30-minute most falls to a finish thing.
Right.
That's how the match ended. It was tied, and then Swanton, and then Cesaro grabs him because every time Jeff does a Swanton, he goes upwards, and he's
sitting up. Basically.
He's sitting up. So like just grab him, put him in the crucifix pin, and you have it because he's too disoriented from just doing that and landing on a person.
Right. So Miz being the first SmackDown member to beat Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Following that, we had a backstage segment with the bar, and you just see Sheamus eating Booty-O's.
Lucky Charms.
Was it Lucky Charms?
Yeah, because like Cesaro comes in, it's like, what are you doing? I'm eating Lucky Charms. They cheer me up, okay? I'm pretty down. I'd lost to Xavier Woods.
I thought it was Booty-O's just because it was the one thing that they...
No, because then he would have said, why are you eating Booty-O's? They're good, okay?
But, it could have been Booty-O's, and then it's like every O is Xavier's head that he's destroying.
Oh, they didn't go that route. Instead, we got Lucky Charms, because it fits, because he's Irish.
Well, yeah, basically just a motivational speech, like, okay, I'll take Xavier Woods tonight.
Yeah, and I'll beat him. Let's take
and
that.
Then they open their duffel bags, and it's full of pancakes.
Yeah. Thinking about it, it's funny. Seeing it, I was like, alright, whatever.
It's true. Like, it's going to get old fast the more they keep doing this.
Yeah.
After commercial break, we had a Shinsuke Nakamura interview. I found it funny that he just kept saying, like, he would talk in English, or the English that he can get. And it's like, you get a question of AJ Styles. Me no speak English.
Well, it would be better if he did. Yeah, he answers a question fully, disingenuously, and then says it like when he first does it, versus just opening with no speak English.
Well, like, he would answer questions in English, but whenever it had anything to do with AJ Styles and the low blows, or if it's like are you going to continue this battle with him, or is it over?
Well, no, he did.
Not speak English.
No, he did. He answered that. Is this over between you and AJ Styles? And he says, AJ Styles, Nuts, and I aren't finished yet.
But there was probably like 3 or 4 parts of that interview where he just repeatedly said, me no speak English.
It was twice.
Was it twice?
Yeah. First question, and then the second question. And then Renee's just like, all right, just tell me, are you two done? And he's like, no, me and his balls aren't finished yet.
Okay. Coming back from commercial, we had Charlotte versus Peyton Royce for a Money in the Bank qualifier.
Opens with the Iconics mocking Charlotte after losing to Carmella. Just like her, Peyton impersonating Charlotte's photo, and then Billy Kay's just like, no, it's only funny when Charlotte does it. They're getting better every week.
They are.
And Charlotte's always tickled by it. She's like, okay, these guys are good. I get it.
That was a good burn.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you now. and like the match was fun too. Like,
it was
SmackDown was a fun show compared to Raw.
They had better matches, I will give them that.
And they were able to actually have more matches an hour versus the last time where it was
well, they
one
don't
match.
have an extra hour of stuff to fill.
No, I mean like in the last SmackDown we covered, where it was literally just 3 matches.
Oh, right, yeah.
And a lot of talking segments. This time they were like, okay, we have to set up Money in the Bank. Let's do it proper.
Right. Like they had, compared to last week when they had 3, they had
5 this week.
Was it 5?
Yeah. But when it ended, Charlotte got a lot more torque and a lot more bend to the figure 8, I found.
Yeah.
She kept turning inwards, and then Peyton's is like, oh God, just stop.
Yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm just hearing JR like, my God, that's a human being!
Damn it!
You're gonna break her leg in half.
Break yourself in half.
Or that.
Or her everything in half.
You're like a vice grip.
Yeah, exactly.
Just squeezing in.
Oh God, I'm turning. But yeah, so Charlotte's the first woman to qualify for Money in the Bank on SmackDown side.
Right. Following that, we had an interview with Daniel Bryan. I forget how that interview went.
He was talking about Big Cass attacking from behind, but also he has a Money in the Bank qualifier tonight against Rusev, and how he's going to prepare for it, and is he physically prepared for it, because Big Cass did attack him afterwards.
Right. Right, because he was by the stairs and he's like, yes, I am cleared. Yes, I will be fighting tonight.
Yeah.
Again, commercial, come back, we had Xavier Woods versus Cesaro. And I found it funny how just Big E, I don't know why Big E likes pancakes so much.
It's those carbs, man. It's got to have a carb day.
Like, he's throwing pancakes all over the arena, which is distracting Cesaro at first.
Yeah.
Giving Xavier Woods a little bit of leverage. And then Sheamus keeps getting involved from time to time, trying to like distract the ref or something.
Mm-hmm.
So Kofi and Big E start hucking pancakes at him right in his face. Just trying to distract him from interfering. And sadly resulting in the Bar getting a victory.
And he uppercutted the crap out of him because Xavier started bleeding from the mouth.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so so after the pin, they showed the replay, and then the New Day's in the ring comforting
right, he goes
Xavier.
off the top rope.
Yeah, and he does the uppercut to him. And then you just see Xavier, lying down with his face crushing into his arm, and blood's coming out of his mouth and just piling on his arm. So I think maybe he bit his tongue.
Probably that.
Because, when he... after the pin, and they're showing Cesaro celebrating in the ring, you can even see blood starting to bleeding from his mouth.
Okay.
So
yeah.
then, once he got on an angle, the blood actually started coming out, and then, but you also see, every time they cut to that, they also cut to Sheamus and Cesaro at the top of the ramp, celebrating and cutting back.
Right.
And then it was announced that next week, it will be a tag team match between the Bar and the New Day. The winning tag team of that match will choose a representative for the Money in the Bank match.
Right.
So the Freebird rule, or it's just either it's Sheamus or Cesaro.
Now predict who would win that match.
If it's New Day, Kofi's the one coming out of that match representing them.
Yeah, because he puts on a great show in any ladder match.
He's the biggest high flyer out of the group, and in a ladder match, you need that.
True.
If it's the Bar, Cesaro. Because Sheamus has already been Money in the Bank winner. Cesaro hasn't.
Okay, but again, even if the Bar wins, they could also pick Sheamus,
Mm-hmm.
because he has the experience with it.
Well, not just for that reason, but also just for Cesaro is an amazing wrestler, and when he goes Super Saiyan in those matches, he goes Super Saiyan and everyone dies. uppercuts galore, swings.
He'll go corner to corner with uppercuts.
Feats of strength. Like, I could see him just putting a ladder, like airplane style, and just spinning, and after everyone's down, keep spinning because he's just into it.
So after we had that match, we had an interview with AJ Styles, who wasn't cleared to fight tonight.
Yeah, neither of them were clear to fight post-Backlash.
And you just see like this huge red scar on his face from where he got cut from the chair.
Yeah.
Him also agreeing that like, it's far from over with Shinsuke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much longer those two are going to be able to go. Like, yes, they put on good matches. If it keeps getting to be nut shots, though.
I think what they'll probably do is Money in the Bank, either last man standing or no holds barred Iron Man match. 30-minute Iron Man match.
Either of those matches probably would help.
Because I can't see them doing a 60-minute Iron Man match.
Oh God, no.
But if it was the final match between the two of them, yes, because that's their Wrestle Kingdom match in Japan. Those matches, if they're the main event, they go 60 minutes.
Okay, but if it's maybe 2 out of 3.
Maybe 2 out of 3 falls, yeah.
But then again, like, it would be like a 15-minute Iron Man match if it was part of it.
It would be cooler if it was 3 Stages of Hell.
Or not even, yeah.
Where it starts off, no holds barred. Second match is...
Steel cage.
Steel cage. Third match is a ladder match. Because it's Money in the Bank, might as well have the...
True.
If it does come to that, ladder match.
Yeah, any of those matches would work. Anything that can be like 2-3 matches to decide one winner.
Mm-hmm.
Have it be any of those.
Yeah.
Following that interview, we had Mandy Rose versus Becky Lynch.
And before the match happened, they're making their way. So before the commercial break...
They're right before the curtain.
Yeah, and then they get to the curtain after commercial break, and then Paige is like, Absolution's dead.
We know,
Mom. We don't need you. We're sticking together.
We're sticking together.
And then she's like, okay, but Sonya Deville, you're barred from ringside. And it's like, what? But then we also got Mandy Rose's individual entrance and Corey Graves.
Her attitude was completely different with her entrance.
Yeah, well, because the Absolution video package was Paige.
Well, yeah, it's her entrance.
Her entrance, her music, her video. Now it's, okay, these two are separate people, but they're aligned together. Just like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
True.
They both have separate music and separate video package, so let's present them as that. Because once Sonya Deville comes out, holy hell, people are going to get scared really fast because they realize it's Sonya Deville. But when Mandy Rose comes out, it's, God damn.
Literally.
Because, like... Corey Graves was like, just shut up, Phillips! I'm watching this!
Yeah, literally. I don't know why it's always that broadcaster that just makes you want to punch him in the face. Even Michael
Todd
Cole.
Phillips?
Todd Phillips and Michael Cole.
Or you mean Byron Saxton?
No, like the person who does all the talking.
Oh, it's always talking is the one you want to hit the most.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to hear Michael Cole say, it's boss time.
Exactly.
If I was the wrestler at commentary and for some reason I was guest commentating a women's match, I'd tell Michael, stop for a second, look at Coach, you say it. And he says it's boss time. I'm like, you see that?
That's how you do it.
A 40-year-old white man isn't allowed to say that. Neither the big dog thing. You're not allowed to say the cool things. You're the analytical commentator. Corey Graves is the shit. And fucking Coach can just say things. Because that's what he does. He just says things. And Corey Graves calls him out. And I was like, where are you going with this, Coach? That was happening 5 minutes ago. I can see you tweeting.
You know, you realize I've made you go on a rant 2 weeks straight?
That happens. These are the things that float through my mind.
I don't know what I trigger in you to go on a rant like this.
Well, you said commentating, things I hate, and Michael Cole.
Last week was Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. No, that was the booking of Roman Reigns. And so I was just like, okay, I gotta explode here. But no, I've been meaning to get that off my chest forever because I'm sick of Michael Cole saying it's boss time.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, it's always the person who talks the most that you want to punch in the face.
I get that.
Unless it's Byron Saxton.
I get that Michael Cole is technically the voice of the WWE Universe and they're grooming Corey Graves because eventually they want to take Michael Cole out.
Well, he can't do it forever.
Yeah. Well, he's also, like, he's going to take more of a backstage role. Like, he's there on SmackDown. Like, he's in Gorilla.
Right.
So, like, he is taking more of a producer role. It's just Cruiserweight Classic, when he doesn't have Vince in his ear and he doesn't have a script, but he does have points to look at for the wrestlers.
Right.
And he's just allowed to call the action. He is a good commentator.
He is.
It's just, holy crap, enough with the, oh my, for the love of mankind while I look at the paper.
Exactly.
If it's not organic, if it's forced, I don't want to see it.
Right.
Or hear it.
Right.
I would love to see, Mandy Rose make her entrance one or two more times.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Going back to that match.
Yeah, it wasn't a long match either.
Wasn't really. There was really nothing to that match other than Mandy Rose getting a quick pin.
Quick roll-up pin after knocking Becky Lynch off the ropes. And even Becky was like, oh my god, did I seriously just lose to the chick who didn't win Tough Enough?
Yes, you did, Becky.
Yeah. But yeah, so Mandy Rose and Charlotte are the women going into Money in the Bank so far.
So far.
Sonya Deville could win her qualifier too if Paige does the same thing. It's like, okay, you were able to win without her at ringside. Now I want you to win without her at ringside. And Sonya Deville's just like, okay.
Okay.
Like, I'm not, like, yeah, she didn't win Tough Enough, but, like, I've destroyed people in MMA, right? I'm not afraid of things.
Yeah, I can win at this.
Who do you want me to face? Asuka? Ooh!
Nia Jax.
She's on Raw.
You can bring her over.
I mean, you can't. She's the Raw Women's Champion. The whole point of Money in the Bank... No!
Okay, who's the biggest woman on SmackDown?
Biggest in name or size?
Yes.
Technically Charlotte, because she's the tallest one. Asuka's the shortest.
I don't know.
Her legs are definitely the biggest. Like, because she does a lot of kicks.
Yes, I know.
And she does that hip attack. So, I mean, her ass has to be some sort proportioned just to, do the hip attack.
Yes. Going into the main event.
The main event was Rusev Day versus Daniel Bryan.
For Money in the Bank qualifier.
Wow. Just wow. Because you have the most loved star in WWE versus the hottest act in WWE for an opportunity at something prestigious. This is what it should be.
Literally, like, the whole match itself, like, I don't know how to explain the match. Like,
the match was basically Daniel Bryan trying to wrestle Rusev, but every time he did, Rusev demonstrated how strong he is.
But Daniel Bryan put up a great match for his size against Rusev.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for a guy who's literally like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
And, 220?
Probably.
Going up against a 340-pounder.
I'd say 300. I give him a little bit more credit than that because Cena's point when he had to face him at WrestleMania 31, he's a 300-pounder who's as strong as a 400-pounder who's as fast as a 200-pounder.
Perfectly descriptive.
Yeah, exactly.
He is fast.
He is fast. He is strong. He's agile. He's just... Why don't they push this guy to the moon already?
Pretty much.
With the U.S. title, he was pushed to the moon, but then after that was nothing. Rusev Day is the hottest thing ever. They're thinking about breaking up Rusev Day.
I don't know why.
They want this is the rationale. They want to break up Rusev Day because they think that Rusev would be more effective with Lana with him versus Aiden English. There's a track record, but here's the facts. You are making a star out of Aiden English, who is getting promo time every single week and putting Rusev over, putting himself over, and demonstrating the fact that he's fire on the mic. Why not just have both of them?
Exactly.
Just do that.
Put Lana in with them. Maybe have like that feud of Aiden English and Lana wanting different things for Rusev.
Yeah, but then also, Dolph had 2 people, and he was world champion. He had Big E and AJ Lee. Let Rusev have that.
Punk had 3 people. Or 2 people.
No, he had 3. He had
Luke Gallows and
Joey Mercury and the lady.
Whatever her name was. When was Joey Mercury a part of it?
He was a late addition. So, like, when Punk was feuding with Big Show, someone attacked Big Show. Big Show wanted to have a match with him. He took off the mask and it was Joey Mercury.
Right. Okay, I remember that now.
Yeah. But yeah, so
this match, like,
great match, great main event, better than the Raw main event.
Oh, definitely.
SmackDown was the better show this week. Out of Raw and Backlash, SmackDown blew it out the damn water in 2 hours.
No, I agree with that. I definitely do. Rusev getting the victory in the main event.
So he was doing the yes kicks. He goes for the running knee. Then Rusev picks him up, lets him crash down. Mashka kick. And he pins him. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Rusev beat Daniel Bryan? Damn. And that was the big...
Damn, Daniel.
Biggest win of Rusev's career outside of... Did he even beat John Cena in a U.S. title match? He didn't beat him at Mania. He didn't beat him post-Mania. Did he beat him before Mania?
I don't think so.
Did he? He probably...
I think it was probably a disqualification or something.
Or no contest or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There was never a clear loss in his book against Cena.
Oh, imagine if Rusev wins. Imagine if he won Money in the Bank. As much as I would think Miz could do a lot with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
He's done it.
He's already done it, but...
Hasn't he done it twice?
No, he's only done it once. Okay. He's only been WWE champion once.
I mean Money in the Bank.
Right. But I mean, like, if he was to do it again, if this was take 2 of the Miz's road to get to the WWE championship, imagine what he could do now. No Alex Riley, no Miz Taraz, no Maurice, just him doing his thing with the briefcase. And constantly reminding AJ Styles, Shinsuke, Joe, and the rest of SmackDown, I will be WWE champion again. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, and literally, like, taking his skill and profession with, like, the IC title.
Exactly.
Take that to the WWE title.
Mm.
You got number 1 show right there.
Plus, you have in that title picture on SmackDown, Shinsuke, Joe, AJ, probably Rusev.
At some point, maybe.
At some point, yeah. And who knows what's going to happen when Andre Cien Almas comes next week.
Right.
He could be put in a qualifying match.
You might get the opportunity, yeah.
Like, what I see for both Raw and SmackDown is a last chance battle royal. So being like, okay, we have the 3 people qualified for each show. Let's just have a battle royal and see who comes up. So that everyone gets an opportunity. Last man standing in the ring gets it. So then, like, Jinder and Reigns and maybe, like, Zack Ryder. And Jinder and Reigns eliminate each other. Meanwhile, Zack took a Superman punch, a spear, and a Colossus. And he's just lying there in a ring, and those two just eliminate each other. And he's just lying there, and he's just like, what happened? Am I dead?
Did I win?
Who won? It's like, you did. And then SmackDown, it could be Almas. It could be the last guy to qualify. Because really, I don't really see anybody else. Who else on SmackDown? Well, Big Cass.
I can't see Big Cass being a qualifier.
So, Miz and Rusev are in it.
Yeah, Miz and Rusev.
The winner of the New Day bar match gets one person in.
Right, so it's either going to be Kofi or probably Cesaro.
Probably.
So then that leaves one position each. For SmackDown?
Joe?
No.
Because if
well, maybe.
Because if Shinsuke and AJ have one more match, what's Joe gonna do?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can see Joe being in that.
Yeah.
And then for Raw, you got Finn and
Braun.
And then probably Cesaro. Sorry.
They could put Chad Gable in there. Or Jason Jordan. He's coming back soon.
If they put Jason Jordan in the match, that's literally...
He's not winning it. It's just...
But that's implying that he's still Kurt's son and he's guaranteed whatever he wants.
If they do my theory where the last spot is a battle royal and Kurt be, okay, there's one more person, the returning Jason Jordan, then it's not just a one-on-one match. It's literally every man for himself. Jason, this is your opportunity.
Okay, if he can fight his way through and win the battle royal, then yeah, put him in. But don't just put him in to fill the spot.
Well, no, not to put him in the spot, just to fill a match.
True.
Chad Gable versus Jason Jordan. It's either those two.
Mm.
If Jason's going to be in the match, it's either that match or the Battle Royal.
Now, that would be an interesting match.
That's a feud. You need to build to that thing, but if it's just going to happen, just let them wrestle.
Yeah.
Who's the other person? So it's not going to be Jinder, because he's in with Reigns. It's not going to be Seth. He's IC champion. He's going to defend that belt at Money in the Bank, probably.
More than likely.
Or if he loses the qualifier to somebody. Just who? I'm thinking Baron.
I can't see Baron being in it again.
I mean, previous Money in the Bank winners have gone in. Punk won it 2 years in a row at Mania.
Yeah, I realize that. But, to have Baron Corbin cash in and lose doesn't really make him a qualifier.
Shelton Benjamin got a SmackDown.
Maybe.
He's another choice.
Maybe.
Raw.
Who's on Raw?
So if it's not the Universal title scene, so you got Roman can't be in it, Zayn and Owens can't be in it. Jinder's most likely not going to be in it because of Roman. Braun's already in it, Finn's already in it.
Maybe Matt or Bray?
No, because of the tag team division, I think that they
didn't defend at Backlash, so they'll probably defend at Money in the Bank.
Exactly. God, there's Bobby Lashley.
Maybe.
It's been a while since he's only been in one Money in the Bank ladder match. It's been a long time since he's been in one.
Wasn't that at 23?
22.
Okay.
23 was when it was the Donald Trump match they refused to talk about.
Right.
Because they can't talk about Donald Trump, and they refuse to talk about Umaga.
Right. Yeah, who else is there?
Like I said, they need to do the Battle Royal. That way they fill... Because they need someone to lose the match, but without hurting someone.
True.
The best way to do it is Battle Royal. Even if you had one match where it's Jinder versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley goes over, Jinder has his match with Roman, and then the last spot is the Battle Royal.
Yeah. That's probably the most logical explanation for...
That's the thing. You can't think logically for wrestling. Because Vince McMahon.
Vince will change it in an instinct.
Even if he's like, put Jinder in there anyway. I'll have Roman run in, cost him the match. That'll be the feud going into Extreme Rules.
I think that wraps up this episode of DDT.
Tune in next week. Find us on YouTube. Find us on SoundCloud.
Like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family.
Tell everybody. We need subscribers. We need listeners. Please help us.
Thanks for listening.